I've tried to listen to this 5 times since I heard it was so great and stuff. Usually I get irritated or bored and stop halfway through. There is one good song. I can't remember what it's called. The sound effects and talking robots are dated and were a bad idea to begin with. This band has talent, and even has some sort of vision, but are just going through the motions here. Creep is an excellent song, but that was on another CD. This is pathetic, as all Radiohead albums have showed. They are a bunch of talentless, arrogant hypocrites. Drivel is the best word to sum up this ridiculously overrated album. It is truly lame. How can anybody call this music? No rhythm, no meaningful words, which you can't actually hear, and no joy. Pathetic. Avoid like the plague if you know what real music is about. Crap. Seriously, total crap. If this is the best that mainstream music has to offer, I want no part of it. I'd rather listen to whale sounds on one of those Get to Sleep Faster CDs. This album is so boring that I want to gouge my eyes out with a spoon while listening to it. This kind of music is so depressing that if you want to live happy life, don't listen to this. This album is evil. It is responsible for the whining, responsibility-shirking culture that has pervaded Western youth for the last 10 years. Radiohead are not pointed, sensitive critics of the postmodern military-industrial complex or the alienation caused by modern technology. They are pampered mummy's boys from the mean ghetto streets of Oxfordshire who realized early that some girls dig it when boys look moody and have based their career and music on that fact. It boils down to a simple equation. Music minus soul plus pretension equals Radiohead. Having said that, I like their bass lines. No complaint at all about the bass player. The purpose of the glorious genre we call rock music is not to articulate self-indulgent misery or indeed to save the whale. Radiohead attempt to do both without even thinking up a tune. The idea, if you are writing songs from the dark side, is to articulate pain, genuine, sincere pain. Or, if you are writing about politics, blinding anger. This cannot be done when you are concerned about karma police infecting your brain. Still less when your imagery is so elliptical that you could be singing about literally nothing. It was once said of Paul Simon that if some girl hadn't have treated him so bad in high school, we would have missed out on all those marvelous songs. Tom, oh how I hate the darn H, seems to have had the same experience reading a UN report on wealth redistribution. By all means, listen to the first 2 albums, the second especially, but don't buy into this nonsense. You will never get out. What does he mean, get out? Okay, at best. This album is genuinely not good. Every song sounds the same, the beat is repetitive, and the lyrics aren't interesting. Every song sounds like a campfire music and has about the same quality as something I'd hear at a summer camp run by teenagers. No creativity was put into making this album, which is evident through the uninspired lyrics. It lifts a page from the Beatles by being complete rubbish, 0 out of 10. Listening to music has become a trivial, everyday affair as a result of technological process. This age is totally accompanied by background music. That is a catastrophe. People have been stuffed full of music every day for so long that they have long lost all feeling for music. Having nothing else left, they suffer from a pathological music consumption. This music consumption will be driven forward by the industry, which controls people now, to a point where everybody is destroyed. The music industry is the murderer of human beings. The music industry is the real... The Computer album is just okay. This album is too melancholy. His voice is so sad, too bad. The guitar isn't very heavy, no shredding, and no double bass. Thanks, but no thanks. Pretentious as fuck can get. Pretentious, horrendous, bloated, heartless, shallow, stupid ass music. I honestly have no idea how this album is so popular. After hearing all the hype over this album, I thought that I'd try it. However, I was very disappointed. It lacked in that special something that I want from my music. It failed to make me feel anything, like the early works of McFly, that rouses something deep inside of me, whereas this merely made me mildly hungry. However, I hadn't actually had breakfast yet, so it may not have been the raising for my aching belly. I struggle to understand the lyrics. The style in which this guy sings really masks what he is trying to say. It is nothing on the crisp vocal of someone like Hanson, which allows me to hear the deep and heart-wrenching emotion driving their music. Whereas with this, I am sure of whether there is any emotional stuff I can really get behind and cry over and stuff. I really tried to like this, but tell me, what the hell makes this a classic? To my humble taste, it is so horribly boring and uninteresting. There's nothing in it. No passion, no love, no energy. Most mid album of all time. This is the most mid, overrated album of all time. I'm so glad To Pimp a Butterfly beat this garbage album. There are 2 good songs on this album, and I can't see why anyone would like any other songs. All it is Thom Yorke being sad, and considering how ugly and annoying he is, I would be sad if I were him too. British people can't make good art, and this is proof. This album sucks, Thom Yorke sucks, and the British Isles suck. I am extremely disappointed. Although the track does have some good moments like No Surprises, which was good enough to be featured in the hit rhythm video game Trombone Champ. However, most of the other tracks, such as Filter Happier, feel the need to patronize the listener by serving their messages on a silver platter. The easily digestible format makes it popular for non-intellectuals to rave on and on about how good the album is. They didn't know anything about life or what being oppressed means, yet Radiohead still feels the need to pander to edgy teens brooding in their room with their RGB lights on. Letdown is underrated, but only because people underrate how much of a bad rejection song this is. The only thing Radiohead has accomplished with this album is being on everyone's rejection playlists. Filter Happier really filters my happiness whenever I try to give this album a chance. By the way, this guy's profile picture is a picture of Muse's The Second Law, so, just so you guys are aware.